Hey everyone, it's Salley Kate. Hope everyone's been having just as much fun as me watching the World Cup. Thought it would be fun as your local foot specialist to, talk about some fun facts around the World Cup, around foot health, lots of injuries that can occur to your feet when playing soccer at an elite level like that in the World Cup. So, when you're running, your foot is absorbing 3 times your normal body weight with every stride, with every time you step down. So, on average, a midfielder is running 8-9 miles in a game. So imagine how many pounds that must be of force going through the foot, which leads me to one of our most common injuries, stress fractures. Stress fractures occur in the metatarsal bones most often in the feet, which are, the long bones in your foot that your toes eventually come from. And if stress fracture is an overuse injury, so 3 times your body weight every running step for 90 minutes, 8 miles, that's a lot of force your foot's having to put up with. So stress fractures can occur. Another really common injury, probably the most common for soccer players at this kind of level, is turf toe. Turf toe is when you're basically spraining your big toe joint, either from pushing off too hard or over and over again having to change directions and push off of those toes. You have a pretty thick piece of fascia or really thick ligament, if you will, that runs right underneath that big toe joint to prevent you from extending your foot too far up. But that can tear if it gets worn out or just way too much force goes through it, and that's what we call turf toe. It can take several weeks to heal. Of course, every soccer player who's ever gotten a new pair of cleats probably had some blisters. Even your World Cup players are probably dealing with some blisters here and there. So it's also not common that, a player's going to go play a match in a brand new pair of cleats that they haven't worn before because they need to be broken in. Players' feet can swell up to half a size bigger than, normal, just from all the sweat and fluid and heat that their body creates when, running for 8 miles on a soccer pitch. So, it's very important for them to make sure their cleats are not rubbing, make sure they fit properly, give the cleats time to adjust and mold to their foot better. Cleats are also not the most awesome supportive shoes, but, putting so many miles on them, most players are likely wearing custom orthotics of some kind in their cleats to, continue to provide support and structure to their foot as they're having to, put so much force through it. Let's see, what else? Oh, another fun fact. Players can lose 4 to 6 pounds of body weight in a single match, purely from sweat loss. So, I'm not sure what their system is like for the World Cup, but I know at certain levels, athletes have to weigh in and weigh out from training sessions and maybe even games to make sure you're not losing too much water weight from sweat, and make sure, coming in the next day they've rehydrated well enough and adequately, that they've gained back enough of their water weight that they lost so they don't continue to be at a deficit. So, have fun watching the rest of the World Cup. Go USA. I'm sure there's so many other fun countries represented in our patient population. So let us know who you're cheering for.